Namaste, Jai Bharat. I suppose everyone would agree that there is possibly a cosmic order. There is a balance of nature. We don't understand it quite well. That's not very physical, but people should have, and I think they have, an understanding of an unknown balance in nature and unknown order of cosmos. We may call it as divine justice. Let's call it as divine justice. Things must be appropriate in the cosmos. And when things are not appropriate, the cosmos should take us to task, putting it very mildly. I'm speaking about Bharat, my nation. There was a time when Bharat was Viswaguru. Just before 2000 years, just before 2000 odd years, 40% of the world's GDP was only in one nation, that's Bharat. Today, if I say Bharat is Viswaguru, many people won't take it serious. But if it is 2000 years before, I don't think that anyone would have any doubt in his mind to say, yes, Bharat used to be Viswaguru, at least used to be Viswaguru. Fine. We have no credit to claim today because those things were those things of our ancestors. We have not lived up to our ancestors. That's true. That's true. Various external factors. When you hear that 40% of the world's GDP was only in Bharat, not just money, not just riches, but the most important of everything, knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Every kind of knowledge. That is, knowledge of everything. Whatever is knowable to mankind had been explored to the maximum possible extent given that time and space and availability of resources. Yes. So Bharat was really a treasure hall of knowledge, treasure hall of wealth, and we say in Sanskrit Sabhyata, Dharma, righteousness in a way. Righteousness, as it is said in the Bible, when they speak about Joseph is a righteous man. Let me put Dharma, Sabhyata, everything. If there's no word to translate into English, let me put everything as righteousness. The society was a very righteous society. That used to be the case before. But now we are trying. See, things went on like that. Every civilization develops. This is again another kind of cosmic law. Every civilization begins, grows, flourishes, goes to the zenith, then the negative period starts. I don't know why, can't explain why, but the negative period starts. What kind of all kinds of explanation anyone can give defies reality. Starts declining. They say end point is a decadence. We in Bharat conceive time as cyclical. Music also cyclical. Most of our understanding is cyclical. So this too is cyclical. It goes down, but then there is again a resurgence, redeveloping, going back, and possibly will come back in some time in future. And this is swings. This is a cyclical nature. Now we understand time as also cyclical in Bharat. That the chronology is very, very seriously interesting and deep. Nonetheless, let me come to the point. I was just wondering, the cosmic order demands Bharat to be Viswaguru again? Is it the case that the cosmic order demands that Bharat to be a Viswaguru again? Indications are there to that direction. We don't have to do anything. We are mere instruments in the hands of the cosmic order. The instruments will just perform automatically, and that's what we are, nothing more, nothing less. Look at the situation in Bharat for the last few years, not a decade, but still lesser than that. There were many agencies, let me call them as agencies because I did not want to name specifically people. There were many agencies who somehow wanted to destabilize and destroy Bharat, surely out of their existential consciousness that they don't want Bharat to become strong, rich, and affluent, because they fear that our becoming affluent, rich, etc., may become a threat to them. Given their view perspective of things, this could be justified, because in their perspective, if they become affluent and rich, they will try to control and dominate others. They would expect the same thing from us too, but they don't understand we are a different species, different lot. We have something in us as dharma, righteousness, as I said before. Bharat wouldn't do anything that is not in the way of righteousness. That has been our history. If you closely watch, patiently watch, you will get it, you will understand it. So, there were many agencies who wanted Bharat not to flourish. Now look at them. I'm just mentioning for China. China and Bharat have long-standing cultural affinities and relations. But when China went to communism and all kinds of things, there was shake in their cultural existence and, of course, relations. Then there was a point in time recently with China has developed. Chinese people, kudos, hats off to them. They have developed, they have innovated, they put technology in everything, they worked hard, but I suppose they lacked the spirit which the universal soul must have given them through Buddhism. But then, nonetheless, that's there in the atmosphere of China. So, slowly, the geopolitics is turning tipsy-turvy. Then, China slowly takes initiative to befriend Bharat, and of course, Bharat naturally cooperates. There are reasons for people not to trust China, but we can oversee that, and we will overlook that. We can oversee that, we will overlook that. So slowly, that suspected antagonism is melting away. Of course, the initiative is taken by them. Many powers in the globe wanted China, Bharat to exist through conflict and contradictions, like the principle of Marx. Just saying it. Conflict and contradiction, because China is becoming a global power. I think they are already global power emerging. So their attention will turn to West, and those who want to dominate will have problems if China is looking at the West. And if China is engaged with Bharat in some kind of conflicts and contradictions, China won't be able to go to that extent in near future. So they want China and Bharat not to be in good relations. But I think China understands it. Obviously, they have no threat from us. We are not proactive, we are only reacting. We are not threat to anyone. Even to Pakistan, we are not threat. Though they teach their children to hate Hindus. This is very unfortunate that the schools means madrasas in Pakistan, teach their children to hate Hindus in capital letters. You just go and talk to any small boy in Pakistan, you ask him, what do you think of Bharat? And he is going to say, oh, the hamara dushman hai. Hame nafrat hai unse. That word nafrat does not exist in our minds. We don't hate anyone like that. So we don't hate. Because hatred, if it is in your mind, it spoils you first before it spoils someone else. So China goes to have a better relation with Bharat. Then there are agencies like Hindenburg Research. They're getting closed down. That's the latest news. They were making huge efforts to somehow create disturbance in Bharat. Then so many others. The deep state suddenly has to change its nuts and bolts because the administration changes in the US. Then those kind of deep state is gone. Sri Lanka was intimidated against Bharat once upon a time. That ceased to be the case. Maldives, was again intimidated by someone else external to be against Bharat. They had put up posters, India out. What we have done? We did nothing against them, and they know it. We did nothing against them. But this spurious consciousness, which of course is called hegemony, and false consciousness, is created by someone else for their nefarious intentions. There is no righteousness in geopolitics with these kind of people. But that is changed. Maldives have changed. Now, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is now getting played by someone else. Wait. There will be a time, not far from now, that things will become different from Bangladesh. So, I presume that, or it appears as if, that the cosmic order wants Bharat to take lead. I don't know how many tens of decades maybe from now, but certainly decades only, not centuries, as I think. It's my thought, my speculations. And when if Bharat again, because Viswaguru, it is not dominating the world, no. It is Viswaguru. Guru is supposed to be teacher, advisor, shows us directions to exist, directions to live. That is a position which Bharat used to have in the past. And that is a position which in all likelihood the cosmic order wants Bharat to act as an instrument in the general order of divine. My concept of divine is not, it must be very different from your concept of divine. Divine is a house of righteousness, as I understand. So, there's a time. The time has come. With not much time from now, Bharat will assume to be Viswaguru. Our GDP is developing. Remember, just 2000 years before, 40% of global GDP was in Bharat, which was destroyed. If you look at the history, you know the reasons. Why should I repeat? It was all because of external invasions, all kinds of invasions, that it had gone down to the gallows. We are now, Bharat is actually limping forward, now of course standing up these days, and promises good fortune. And remember, if Bharat again becomes Viswaguru, Bharat will only be Viswaguru, not Vishwa dominator, not like those who created World War to rule the world. Certainly not. We don't want to rule anyone. We simply want to be friendly with the entire cosmos. We have been taught from the Vedas, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. We are talking about samasta loka, the entire world. And so we also are taught Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole Vasudha, the whole cosmos is one family. Vasudha could also mean globe, but I am extending it to the cosmos. It's just one family. Living beings and non-living beings coexisting, and of course the epistemology of Veda is one that of coexistence of or the multiple and plural in the meaningful manner. So this hope, this possibility, if Bharat becomes Viswaguru, we don't gain anything in particular, the cosmos gains everything in particular. We are just acting as instrument. You also should understand, you are all instruments in the hands of the divine, cosmic order. Call it as divine, call it as cosmic order, call it as justice, call it as being righteous, we call it as dharma. So we may meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.